This video will contain spoilers. Beginning review, Robocop Rogue City. I just downloaded this because it came out last month for free on PS Plus, and I gave Sonic Colors a try, and I just don't get those classic Sonic games that I don't understand how they could be fun when all it is just running fast. And especially for someone like me who wants to get all the collectibles, because then you're not running fast, you're taking your time because you don't miss anything. And then I played the Digimon game, which just nah. But those two weren't that big. They're only like less than 10 gigs each. This was 40, so I left it off. And then I downloaded it as I was getting towards the end of Yakuza, which I completely forgot that I was supposed to do a review for that until I said at beginning. But we're too late, so. I thought it was going to be like Sonic and Digimon, where I'll just play it for like 5 minutes, not enjoy it, then delete it and move on to Yakuza 6. But no, I do quite enjoy it. I've never seen any of the RoboCop films. I know the basic plot. Um, so I think I know enough to go in and fully enjoy the story. Um, and I am quite enjoying the story itself. A lot of wit to it, a lot of, even though it's a game that only released last year, it feels like something from the 80s. Um, and it is quite fun. The only thing I don't understand is whenever you pick up like incriminating evidence or nuke or anything like that, like all the evidence stuff, it'll say like plus 25, plus 100, all that. What does that mean? Because it's not like it's XP. You don't get any XP from it unless it's a note. The only thing I can think of is that they don't give you the XP you get for getting all that evidence until the evaluation. But I don't know. I think if that were the case, I should be like, I should have the majority of the skill points by the next evaluation, because I'm 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 not 100% in the game because I did miss out a few pieces of evidence. Although I'm not sure if that counts towards completion. Um, but I'm definitely not 100% in the game. I didn't save any of the hostages in the first level, but I'm gonna get as much as I can without putting in too much effort towards it. That's just my usual approach. I call it the 99% approach. Um, so yeah. End review, Yakuza 0. Game is great. Like it's the best Yakuza game we've had. Well, best main Yakuza game since 2. Uh, like this is on par with like plot wise on par with Yakuza 1. Maybe on par with Yakuza 2, but it definitely is better than 3, 4, and 5. Um, Problem is that I made the middle review when I was on chapter 9, and kind of like with Vision, once you get to around chapter 9, everything stops. There's no more side missions, there's no more sub stories. It's just a straight shot to the end. So really the only thing I can say is that, I did that middle review when I started chapter 9, and I said I don't think that there's going to be a connection between Majima and Kiryu, and at the end of that chapter, they revealed that there is a connection, and the connection should have been obvious from the very start, but I didn't pick up on it. I was kind of expecting this, and I don't know how to feel about it. The fact that Kiryu and Majima don't actually meet. Like, it's not until the post credit that they meet, which is weird. And also, seeing them in their iconic outfits, like Kiryu in the red shirt and white suit, and Majima in his like leopard print jacket or whatever it is. It just it kind of seems like when there's a live action remake of something, like take the live action like a dragon. There's something about it looks odd, not off, but just odd. Um, like it just it doesn't look like Kiri and Majima wearing their suits. It looks like someone pretending to be Kiri and Majima wearing their suits, and it's because with Kiri, well, with both of them, they're both younger, and with Kiri, it's because he doesn't have that like I don't know what the fuck you call it, like the wee patch below his lip, and his hair is shorter. And for Majima, um, he doesn't have the excuse me the I can't remember what it is. It's on his eye patch, but he has something on his eye patch. Excuse me, and he's not as insane as he is in the later games. Which, speaking of, I thought that the game would have shown that Ealer Majima was always that crazy, or it would show at what point he became that crazy. It doesn't. If you play just this game and the first game, it won't like it just doesn't seem right for him to just be this regular guy, and then all of a sudden he's like the fucking Joker. And I don't just mean that because Mark Hamill voiced him in the dub of the first game. Like he is kind of like this, insane character. And then for 3, 4, 5, he's a good guy. I don't understand it. Maybe I'm missing out on something. I'm not sure. Anyway, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, universally positive ratings. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie. I watched it in the cinema with my dad and my brother. Tom Cruise, Haley Atwell, Palm Clementif, Anna Waddington, Isai Morales, Trammell Tillman, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Katie O'Brien, Angela Bassett, Nick Offerman, Mark Gatiss. How the fuck do you review a Mission Impossible film? I don't know what to say. Um, the film is amazing. If this were the end, it would be a great conclusion. I think, as sad as it is to kill off Luthor, it does kind of feel right because he is the only other person besides Tom Cruise that has been in every single film. Um, and then the nearly killing Benji because he's been there the second, well, technically third longest. It just feels right. The only problem is that, let's be honest, this is not the last movie. Apparently, Tom Cruise has said that this is the last time he will play Ethan Hunt, but he has also said in the past that, when I say the past, I mean just a few months ago, that he does not want to stop Mission Impossible. Also, the film is just, it's too successful just to leave it there. Like, you know, they still have, I don't think a single one of the films have been a flop financially. So, it's inevitable that we're either going to get Mission Impossible 9 with Tom Cruise, or a reboot, whether it be a hard reboot with a whole new cast, or a soft reboot where they bring everyone back, bar Ethan. Either way, I'm excited for that. But in the meantime, this is an amazing conclusion. I find it weird that Isai Morales, or however you pronounce his name, like, the only reason why this is an actor that I have noticed is because, sorry about that, it's because he was in Criminal Minds, and I was watching that around the same time that I rewatched 7. I find it weird that he went from someone who, maybe he did other things, I'm not sure, I haven't really looked at his IMDb page, but it's just weird that he went in 10 years from some random guy that was only in a few episodes of Criminal Minds, and then now he's the bad guy in the finale of Mission Impossible. Technically, I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that he's basically just a puppet for the entity. And I get that we need like a physical film. I can't just have it be something like the entity that doesn't have a body. That's just like the way they brought back that guy from Mission Impossible 1, the guy that he was in that room that Ethan had to break into, like the one with the wires and shit like that. That was great. Something I'm not a fan of is the fact that they revealed what the rabbit's foot from Mission Impossible 3 was. I'm of the opinion that that was something that did not need to be answered. Like, I watched a video on J.J. Abrams' writing style where he calls it like the mystery box style or something like that, where the MacGuffin does not need to be explained, or some, not necessarily a MacGuffin, but other things do not need to be explained. And yeah, for the stuff that he did with Star Wars and Lost, it did need to be explained. But for Mission Impossible, it did not. And it's one thing to explain it; it's another thing to like link it to this, like the fact that the rabbit's foot is the entity. It's just fucking weird. I don't like it. And that's all I really have to say. Like, so I'll give you one more thing, but I can't think of anything else. Everything to do with the president with Angela Bassett's character, that was great. Very hopeful for her to not nuke everyone.